Welcome to Constituent Management and Razor's Edge. Today, we will be covering 4 topics. What are constituents? What is our policy regarding constituents in Razor's Edge? How this policy pertains to you? And then we're going to take a quick tour of a constituent record in Razor's Edge. Let's get started. First, what are constituents? Well, constituents are simply parts of a whole. Somebody that represents us or someone that we represent. Take a second to think about who are some of your constituents. Perhaps your parents, your children, your employer, your friends. Who are people that you represent and that represent you? Here at Best Buddies, we have several constituents. We have our buddies, their peer buddies. We have our donors. We have employers, employees. We have participants in our rides. All of these different types of people are our Best Buddies constituents. Again, constituents at Best Buddies are people or organizations involved in or served by Best Buddies. Let's take a quick look at constituent management policy at Best Buddies. First off, what is constituent management? Well, simply put, constituent management is the act of keeping track of our relationships with our constituents. So it's kind of like keeping a log of our conversations, our emails, our interactions, our experiences with all of the people that we serve and that serve us. Here are some policy highlights. At Best Buddies, a constituent is defined as a person or organization involved in or served by Best Buddies International. All Best Buddies staff is expected to facilitate the collection and maintenance of constituent information in Razor's Edge. Creation of constituent records is reserved to the database team. The data team will create a new constituent record when prompted to by one of you guys, or at the receipt of a donation. Any addition of relationships, attributes, notes, actions, biographical and contact information to people's records is expected from all Best Buddies staff. You want to know where you find this policy? Well, we keep our most up-to-date policy in SharePoint in the Love Your Data, Love Your Donor file. Let's take a quick look. Remember, you can access SharePoint by visiting your Office 365 page online. You can sign in using your Best Buddies credentials and clicking on SharePoint. Make sure you're looking at the team site. On the left, you'll see a file folder labeled Love Your Data, Love Your Donor. Open that folder and you will see something called Constituent Management. You may open that and find the most current policy. Be sure to share this policy with anyone else in your office and with anybody that you are onboarding to your team. Now, back to our slideshow. You may be wondering how any of this pertains to you. Well, here at Best Buddies, we build relationships day in and day out. We take pride in the relationships and friendships that we build. Because of that, we need to keep track of our relationships using the database. At Best Buddies, we work together. We are Team Best Buddies. As such, we all participate in the collection of historical information and interactions. Anyone from a program manager to an intern to a state director to a senior vice president is encouraged to log into the database and update an email, add an action, add a note on someone's interests. At Best Buddies, we share what we know. By putting what you know in the database about one of our constituents allows the rest of us access to that information. This way, maybe if you're on vacation, we won't have to bother you. We can just open up that constituent record for the latest and greatest. What does a constituent record look like in Razor's Edge? Let's take a quick look. Within Razor's Edge, all staff has a record because we're all constituents of Best Buddies. I encourage you to log in and search for yourself. This is me. This is what a constituent record looks like in Razor's Edge. Very quickly, you can read biographical and contact information here in the first tab, labeled Bio 1. As you can see, my name is here, my title is there, and someone has even entered a nickname for me. My marital status, my birthday, my self-identified gender is on here as well as my contact information, including addresses, noted which is primary. Any other addresses that we may know of will also be listed here in the address tab. Addresses and salutations are editable. My relationships to individuals are here, and even my giving to Best Buddies is noted right here. I even have an action in my record. It looks like Joanne sent me an email. And remember, all of this information is open and available to all staff. And 90% of this record may be edited by you without having to go through the data team. So we answered the question, what are constituents? We covered some of the most important points about our policy, and we remembered that this policy is important to us because we're all one big Best Buddies team. And then we took a quick tour of our own constituent record in Razor's Edge. That's it, guys. This was Constituent Management in Razor's Edge.